first thing that you're going to need is a 12 by 24 piece of your background fabric, and we are going to prep this to draw the quilting lines. This is an optional step if you do not want to have the lines drawn on for you to help with your quilting. You can go ahead and skip this. To start though, I like to start with some starch spray. I'm using Best Press and an ultra fine spray bottle. Just go ahead and spray your fabric. I already have my EasyPress preheated, so now I'm just going to go ahead and iron. See, now it feels really crisp, nice and flat. So we'll go ahead and set this aside. The next thing that we want to do is prep our ornament fabric. These were just little scraps that I had left over from a Christmas quilt that I'm working on, and I wanted to utilize them as my ornaments. So I made sure I cut them down to 6 inches square to where I'll have the main thing that I want to cut out on each piece. So this one will be the Merry Christmas, this one will be Christmas Cheer. So to do that, grab your rotary cutter and a cutting mat. I have a Lazy Susan, which is really handy for when you're cutting smaller things like this. So what's great about it is, say I just wanted to cut right here, let's go like this. And this is from Fisker's brand. So now I can just come right here instead of me having to, be in all funky positions and risk cutting myself. I like having the Lazy Susan for projects like that. Okay, so now we have all of our squares prepped. Then what you need to do next is cut out 6, I did 5 3/4 inch squares of Heat and Bond Light. You need the light, not the Ultra Hold, because you will be sewing through this. And as you can see, I pretty much replaced my iron with my EasyPress. I swear I use this thing for everything. It's great for fusing all your appliques. So just go ahead and heat it up. And if you don't push the Cricut Go button on it every once in a while, it will shut off. So just every now and then, I'll go like this, I'll just push go. And it's automatically set on 30 seconds, but I only need to do a few seconds for each one of these. Okay, so that's fused. We'll do this with all of them. Once you have all these, I'm going to let that one kind of cool because that was the last one, you will peel the backing off. So you will see it's got a little sheen to it. This is the other sticky side now. You don't want to iron over this while you have the paper back off of it. So now all of our ornaments are prepped. So let's go ahead and get started on that. Okay, we are going to go ahead and get our mat prepped. Today we are using the Cricut Explore Air 2. And I am using a 12 by 24 mat. I am using a fabric grip because currently this is the only one that I have that I can use right now. My green ones are really dirty and I haven't had time to wash them. So we're going to go ahead and give it a shot on the fabric grip mat that is originally designed for the maker, but we're going to go ahead and use it in our Explore Air 2. Because we are not cutting anything, I'm pretty sure we'll be just fine. We are just going to place our fabric onto the mat. Right about there, and just push it down. We are only using our water erasable pen, so there shouldn't be any issue. As long as it's sticking enough for the pen to just go back and forth and draw the lines. We are using the Cricut water soluble pen, or water erasable pen is washable pen. And we will just stick this in slot A, and go ahead and close that up. And now we will go ahead and send our project to the machine and watch it draw some lines. Okay, you guys, I'm really excited about this feature that Cricut has. Today we are going to fussy cut our ornament pieces out. These ones don't really matter too much. I'll probably just place them, but this one, I want the Christmas cheer perfectly centered on my ornament, and same with this Merry Christmas. So I have my first 4 ornaments all in one block, and you will see I recolored my ornaments in Design Space so that all 4 were green, and then the other 2 were blue. That way I could do 4 on one mat and then the other 2 on a separate mat. So once you go to your Make It, you'll see right here, and this little SnapMat icon right there at the bottom, go ahead and click that. And what you need, some requirements when using the SnapMat, you need contrast between your mat and your background. So this white should be plenty, and you'll just see, I might have to lift my phone up higher than you can see. See, I just lifted it all the way up until it got the exact mat. So I'm really happy with that because it's perfectly square in there. If it was off just a little bit, I would continue to redo it until it looked really square, because if not, then it will not cut 100% perfectly. It'll still be a pretty good job, but. Okay, so I got my SnapMat, and this is what it looks like. You can see it's perfectly square. So I'm gonna go ahead and click Use. So once we have that, you'll see our 4 ornaments are placed on there. So I know I need to put this one right here is the Merry Christmas one. I'm just gonna kind of place them where they need to be. This one was down for this fabric. This one was the red, and then this big one is the one I'm using for the Christmas cheer. So we will go ahead and start with that. Drag and drop it, and you will continue to move it around until it's placed exactly where you want it. There. Now the whole Christmas cheer is perfectly placed on there. I might actually take it down just a smidge. There. So I really like where that one's at. This perfect. I like where all of those are. So that is how you do your fussy cutting with the SnapMat. It's a very useful tool, and I really hope you guys use it and try it. It's great for quilt blocks, English paper piecing, applique, so many great uses for it. So that is how you do that, and then you'll just click continue and cut them out, and you will repeat this process with your second mat. You'll have 2 more to do. Okay, we're going to get ready to baste our quilt. Basting your quilt is layering your backing, your batting, and your top fabric, and you can either pin baste it with safety pins, or you can glue baste. Glue baste is my preferred method. I don't recommend doing this indoors like I am right now. This will cause a sticky mess around all your fabric that you sprayed on. But we have frigid winters here, and I'm not going outside to do it, so I will take the risk and have a big cleanup when I'm done. So, this stuff goes a long way. You don't want to spray too much. You don't want it to be super sticky and then your needle get all gummed up or anything. So I just do little sprays like this, and I'm trying not to get any of the overspray anywhere because that's the last thing that we need. So take your batting and place it on top of, you might want to let the spray get a little tacky, so I'm just going to air it for a second here. Okay, yeah, that feels pretty tacky now. So we'll go ahead and place our batting onto our backing. And I have the backing a little bit bigger than the batting, and then the batting is a little bit bigger than the quilt top. It's just for when you're quilting it. Things can shift around and move a little bit and stretch, so you gotta account for that, and it's just nice to have a little extra wiggle room. Okay, so we are going to do the same thing for the quilt top onto this batting. So we'll go ahead and ting it. So now you can see that they're all stuck together. Okay, so we are going to go to the sewing machine now and quilt this beautiful little table runner. Okay, you guys, I'm getting ready to start quilting, but I wanted to give you just another tip. I like to start in the middle, and I'll work my way out this way, and then I'll come back and finish this way. And then I'll come and do the other lines. This is me. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start putting our table runner together. The first thing I want to do is lay out my Merry Christmas and press this in place. Now, remember you will have a 1/2 inch binding going around your table runner, so be sure you don't put it too far down where it's going to get covered. I kind of want it to stand out, so I think this is where I'm going to place mine. So I'll go ahead and I'll start with the Christmas. I have this at $2.85 for foil, and I vinyled my EasyPress on both sides so I know what my settings need to be for easy. So we will go ahead and just leave the plastic on there, but we will now go ahead and start arranging our ornaments where we want them. I might let it cool because this was still just a tad bit warm. I probably shouldn't have peeled it off, so we'll just let that one sit on there for a little bit longer. Okay, so while we're waiting for that, we need to press each one of these in place. But I think next thing that we need to do is take our rickrack from here to here, and we are going to pin it because we will have to sew this in place. But we're going to put this on first. Now we are going to go ahead and applique all of our ornaments into place just by stitching around the shape.